Offside Sports continues from the Loft 100 studios here in Southern California, presented by Turtlebox Audio. Find their incredible lineup of portable speakers, turtleboxaudio.com. And as always, thank you to Harry Arnett, Mark Wahlberg, everybody at Municipal for being the official wardrobe sponsor of Offside Sports. Municipal, bet on yourself. Find them at municipal.com. All right, here in just a second, Dave, we'll talk about what the Week 2 schedule looks like. Week 2 gets underway tonight. You've got the Washington Commanders visiting the Green Bay Packers, who looked very impressive.
Very impressive.
Against the Detroit Lions last week at Lambeau. But we've got 1 week under our belts now, and so let's get to our AFC and NFC power rankings. I mentioned Allison Ratzlaff is not here. She will be back in her chair next week, but she was kind enough to send her rankings in as far as the AFC and the NFC are concerned. We'll throw these up on the screen real fast, let you know who Allison thinks are the top 5 in both conferences. And that's who she's got as far as the AFC is concerned from left to right. Bills, Ravens, Bengals, oddly enough, before the Chargers. And she has the Colts cracking the top 5 in her power rankings. And, hey, listen, maybe she knows more than us.
Maybe she doesn't. I'm surprised. I'm surprised overall, though, the Padres aren't somewhere listed as number 1. But I'll take it.
Yeah, I can't believe Taylor Swift didn't make the top 5 as far as the AFC is concerned. All right, quickly, let's get Allison's NFC power rankings as far as her top 5 are concerned. Really, not any surprises there. Eagles, the Commanders, you've got the Vikings, the Rams, and the 49ers. All 5 of those teams looked impressive in their wins this past weekend. Dave Pele, who do you have in your power rankings for week number 1?
You know, I love that we do the power rankings. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, so for me, as we sit there and we get those going, I'm trying to remember who I had it set up as far as number 1. I know for me, there we go. In the NFC, I have the Eagles because I'm not going to take the Eagles off. And so until the defending Super Bowl champs, they go and they take care of the Cowboys week 1. They play the Chiefs.
Right.
I still have the Eagles 1. I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to stay with the Rams there. Green Bay, obviously very impressive against Detroit. Jaden Daniels, I'm a huge fan. The thing with the 49ers, even though I have them at number 5, they already have injuries. Brock Purdy right now is not expected to play week 2, and the Niners have a tremendous roster. Last year they ran through horrible circumstances. I mean, their number 1 draft pick gets shot before the season begins. They have 2 players on the team who children passed away during the season. That's tough to go through. So I think the Niners have a ton of talent with a great coach.
Well, and they also, Dave, speaking of injuries, and this really affects me personally because he was my tight end on my fantasy team. George Kittle, 4 weeks now on the IR because of a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
So just a brutal way. Impressive win against the Seahawks, but seriously a brutal way to start the season.
No, exactly right. So the NFC is loaded. I mean, the NFC is really, really good.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of storylines, I think, overall. But top to bottom, roster-wise, I like the Eagles and I like the Rams a lot right now.
Who's your AFC top 5 week 1 power?
My AFC is going to shock you a little bit, all right? Because my AFC has Buffalo 1, but I believe I had the Ravens still 1. Because I say if you played that game again, I think what are the chances of number 1, Derrick Henry is going to fumble? 2 is that game was played in Buffalo. I think the Ravens are the better team. So I think that it's mixed up a little bit, but I think I had the Ravens 1, Bills 2. Chiefs right now, look, is everything they've done with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you give them credit, but I like what the Chargers are doing. And the Texans, I'm not so sold on the Texans that, I'm not a fan of stadium fights. I know we're going to talk about some of the things that happen, but the fight with the Texans and the Rams was insane. I'm just not sold on the Texans. I don't think really it's a top 5, it's a top 4 for me in the AFC.
Quickly, my power rankings, we'll go with the AFC first, Christy. I've got, Dave, I'm the same exact, you can just leave that up there because I'm Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Chargers, and Texans. And I said this before in a past episode of Offside Sports, Dave, and I'll say it again. I think the Chiefs are on the downside as far as this miraculous run. Travis Kelce looked old to me in Brazil against the Chargers. Chargers looked very impressive, and as a Raider fan, it makes me sick to my stomach to say that, but they looked great. Quentin Johnson, their wide receiver, looks like finally he's holding on to the ball, and he's got a grasp of this offense. Justin Herbert, awesome quarterback. The Texans, a loss in Los Angeles, but I love that young defense, and I love Stroud, their quarterback, and I think the Texans are going to make some noise this year in the AFC. 5A, of course, would be the Raiders. Big victory over the Patriots in New England to start the season. Geno Smith era is underway. All right, as far as the NFC is concerned, I look at the Eagles. I've got the Packers. I've got the Commanders. I have the Rams and the Bucks as well.
I like your list.
And the Buccaneers. I was not a fan of Baker Mayfield coming out of college.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Baker Mayfield is, as they said in Anchorman with Ron Burgundy, he's the balls. And I love, you've got moxie, he's tough, and there is no doubt about who the spiritual leader of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is right now. The Packers, as we both alluded to, Jordan Love, man, he's a guy just with Matt LaFleur, the head coach. Yep. They are absolutely in sync. And that offense is flowing. And then you add Micah Parsons.
Exactly right.
Yeah, how about his debut?
Yeah.
A sack, a couple of hurries, couple tackles for loss, not too shabby in getting that trade.
No, I like everything you said right there. The Baker Mayfield thing is fascinating to me because remember he came in out of Oklahoma, and unless you're an Oklahoma fan, you don't like Baker Mayfield.
Hate him.
And remember he got arrested. He couldn't even outrun the cops. Remember he got tackled into the wall, and you're like, this guy couldn't even outrun the cops. Like that guy's what? How did that just happen?
Exactly.
And this is the franchise guy? And then he's doing all those commercials with Cleveland where he lived in the stadium and locked up the stadium.
It's like, what have you done?
Yeah, it just got old. It got old when you hated him.
Yeah.
And then, he goes to the Panthers, believe it or not. People don't remember he was on the Panthers. Then he was on the Rams for a little bit. But now he's in a division where he's putting up crazy numbers. It's a great division to be in for him. He has Mike Evans. I think a lot of people have turned into Baker Mayfield fans, including myself.
And I think that their head coach, Todd Bowles, who's one of the most respected coaches in the NFL. He's very zen on the sidelines. He's very calm, and I think he's one of those guys that is kind of tempered. He lets Baker be Baker.
Exactly.
But he's also telling, I think Baker Mayfield is learning, listen, you're the leader. All the eyes are on you. Yep. This franchise is going to go as you go.
Exactly.
And I think that has soaked in with Baker Mayfield. All right, so week 1 is in the books. That is those are our power rankings. Looking at the schedule as far as week number 2, if there are some losses for some teams, it got late early.
Yes.
As we like to say, it got late fast. I don't know, the Giants, Cowboys, Dallas, if you have any hope, you better not lose this game to New York.
I mean, this should be one where if you're a Giants fan, you're like, we're probably going to fire our coach this week. This is
exactly.
Probably the end for Brian Dable. I mean, and if they pull off a miracle and knock off the Cowboys, I don't know what Jerry's going to do.
No.
There's no way. I think this is really the sure win of the week is the Cowboys knocking off the Giants.
You got the Browns visiting Baltimore.
Yeah.
And Baltimore, again, the way they lost, I think the Ravens are going to steamroll Cleveland.
Exactly. The old Browns. Remember, they were the Browns that moved to Baltimore.
That's right, exactly.
So I think you're absolutely right. I think basically these Ravens will sit there and put a punishing loss on the Cleveland Browns.
What do you make of the Bears at the Lions? Detroit, I was waiting in this Detroit Packers game for that Lions team that went as far as they did in the playoffs to emerge.
Yep.
Nothing. I mean, that's a team you're kind of going, boys.
This might sound bad, but this is what I expected. And what I mean by that is they lost 2 coordinators. Their defensive coordinator is now the head coach of the Jets. Their offensive coordinator is now the head coach of the Bears.
Right.
And I think Dan Campbell's, I hate to say it, I think he's a phony. I think he's a motivational coach. He's one of those guys, a Herm Edwards type guy. He's the kind of guy that's not a coach. He's the guy that keeps the locker room smooth. And I think in Detroit, we're going to get an idea, dude. They hired the right coordinators to replace 2 really good guys. And Detroit showed they weren't ready against the Packers.
The Patriots and the Dolphins. Again, you talk about Brian Dable and his staff with the New York Giants probably getting the boot after week number 2. If you're Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, or if they lose this game to the Patriots, which is
They will.
I think they will too, Dave. And it's obviously not a Tom Brady Patriots team.
No.
But it's a Patriots team I think that is good enough to go into Miami and take care of the Dolphins.
The Dolphins play like they don't have any fight. I mean, to start the season this way, look, you could see a coaching change coming to Miami this week too.
Right.
And at the same time, you could see them, as we just spoke in the previous segment, that they start trading guys off. This Dolphins team is nowhere close to being where you want to be. There's a difference of losing and moving in the right direction. The Dolphins right now are showing they aren't moving in the right direction at all.
Too quickly to keep your eye on that, the Broncos at the Colts I think is going to be an insanely good game. Two offenses, and Bo Nix starting to come into his own as a Broncos quarterback. And then Eagles and Chiefs. Eagles favored on the road against KC.
That's crazy. Rematch of the Super Bowl. How is that not the Sunday night game? That's crazy that a big part of the country is not even going to see this matchup.
All right, assistant coaching gigs in the NFL and college football are tough to get when you don't have one or been part of a head coach getting fired. One guy is making it easier to find that next job. We'll visit with him, learn about a new job pathway he's come up with, coming up next on Offside Sports.